everyone, Lou here. As an anime channel, I do try and check out as many anime this season as possible. You know, a bit tricky when you gotta write some sick scripts, you know? The anime I've been checking out this season is Dororo, based on one of the many acclaimed manga by Osamu Tezuka, who basically is seen as the god of anime. Fun fact, by the way, Osamu Tezuka was heavily inspired by Disney for his art style, specifically Scrooge McDuck, whose first appearance was in 1947. Just know, every time you're choking the chicken to Supersonico, you're also doing that to Scrooge McDuck, too. Okay, let's roll that intro and get started. The story is interesting. I understand this is the first of its kind, so I've gotta be generous here with it. The story takes place in ancient Japan, where a samurai lord gives away his newborn son to 48 demons, who all take pieces of him until he's nothing left but a skeleton with muscle. As surprising as this is, his son is actually alive, and one of the nannies sends him off on a boat and is subsequently killed by one of the demons for letting the boy live. We're flash forward 16 years later, where we meet Dororo, a little thief boy who's extremely energetic and has some kind of trauma to him. As he's up to no good and causes a little trouble in the neighborhood, he gets in one little fight and gets scared when this guy comes in and breaks the trouble in the air. This guy beats up a gooey monster, and Dororo thinks he's super cool and joins him on adventures. Eventually, we're told this guy's name is Hyakimaru, and surprise, surprise, he's the baby from all those years ago. His body is almost entirely made up of prosthetics until he kills this slime-porn demon thing. Killing this demon gives him skin, and so it looks to be a Monster of the Week episodic series with Hyakimaru killing a demon once a week and getting a body part back as a result. Meanwhile, his father is kind of realizing it. Maybe? I'm not sure what he plans to do, as there's only 3 episodes at the time of writing the script, but so far so good. In the meantime, Dororo just kind of remains as a friend to Hyakimaru and the audience surrogate. We kinda get a hint that something fucked up happened to Dororo's mom, but it's a little too early to tell. While it's pretty good and a very intriguing story, with every episode making you wonder what body part he'll get back next, it does suffer from a slight issue I noticed Mappa as a studio overall has. It's an issue where the first episode is usually pretty sloppy in dropping you into a world that you need to be explained. We aren't really explained in the first episode who Hyakimaru is, his name, or like establish anything really. Sure, there's an opening narration, but it's not a whole lot to go off of. Overall, the story is good, but does have a sloppy start, which isn't bad. Plenty of amazing anime have some sloppy footing. I'm sure as the anime goes on, everything will be clearer, and the story will be easier to follow and make more sense. I gotta say, the opening and ending for the anime are absolutely fucking amazing, with the opening having a really awesome song. But the animation for the show itself is mixed to me. The character designs, fight scenes, and overall design is really great and definitely awesome to look at. However, the coloring is what really lacks it for me. Everything is in this gray or grayish green tones that I get Fallout 3 PTSD from it. Not that washed out colors is a bad thing, but it's not very enjoyable to see in this case. The whole thing with Hyakimaru is that he doesn't look human at first because his entire body is made up of prosthetics. And it's hard to tell that aside from ball joints when his coloring for his prosthesis and other humans isn't very different. I would have preferred if the colors were a little more intense. I'm not saying for fucking Persona 5 levels of red here. I just want a bit more color because I think it'd really make the character designs pop. Of course, this is a very serious series, but that doesn't mean we can't have colors on screen. Jeebus, even Banana Fish was serious with light moments, and that was pretty colorful. You can't even say the era doesn't totally count either, because there are series in ancient Japan that are very colorful. You can have a serious show and be colorful, just saying. Really, that's my only problem with it anyway. Other than that, the animation is really good, with the fight scenes in particular being quite incredible. Although everyone's feet look really fucking weird though. Like, why does everyone have sandal feet? That just, that looks weird. Dororo. Okay, so fun fact, I actually thought Dororo was a boy upon my first viewing, only for me to find out when researching this series that I think Dororo is a boy? Everything I was looking up seemed to be very inconclusive. But either way, he's a very mischievous little guy, always trying to earn a quick buck, but seems to hide some inner trouble involving his mother and father. That doesn't mean he's bad though, he's actually quite adorable with a good heart. One thing I definitely want to praise is his voice actor. Dororo's voice actor is only 14, and I have mad respect for that because it's not easy voice acting when you're just a kid. It also adds a lot of realism to him and makes him feel more like a child instead of a character that's supposed to be a kid but is voiced by someone like 5 times his age. Just kid Japanese voice actors in general are always impressive to me because of how rare they are. Though, keep in mind that if he comes off as plain, it's because he literally birthed the trope of cheeky little boy in anime, so... Hyakimaru. This guy's got an impressive backstory for sure. He literally shouldn't be alive if the demons took everything from him but his skeleton and muscles, yet here he is. That's pretty damn cool. Since he literally can't talk, see, or hear, then things are really difficult to figure out with him. We don't get to see his internal thoughts or feelings about the world around him, which is kind of unfortunate, as I'd really like to see where the writing could go with a character who can't see, hear, or talk, just slowly getting himself back piece by piece. I guess right now he's like Link from Zelda, but a little more frustrating, as unlike Link, who cannot talk from pent-up anxiety, Hyakimaru is basically a husk with only the drive to kill demons to get himself back together and go after his father for making that deal. I mean, presumably. I have no idea if he knows his father is even the one who did it. The rest of the characters are not entirely interesting, as they are so brief and hardly set up right now because it's so early that there's not much to say on them. Although I do like the guy who basically gave Hyakimaru his prosthetics. He's a nice guy and pretty cool to me. This is officially the oldest series I've gotten myself into, with 50 years in the making for this one. And I thought Devilman was impressive for being a series from 1972, but holy shit guys, this manga was released in 1967. Do I think it'll be anime of the year? This isn't like Devilman Crybaby, where the series was already fully released and I immediately thought, oh well, this will be anime of the year for sure. But I do think it has a lot of potential. I'm not familiar with Osamu Tezuka's work, other than some things here and there with clips of Astro Boy and Blackjack. Though I will say that Dororo is a pretty great so far if you want to get into his work. I know he has a lot of work under his belt and it's hard to figure out which one to start with, but I'd say Dororo is a good one to start with. Here's to hoping this will be another great year for anime. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new. And if any old or new subs would like to help support the channel in any way, then feel free to visit my Ko-fi page down below in the description, along with my social media tabs. For any subscribers, new or old, who'd like to help with video ideas or maybe want to talk about anime or something, then I have a fan server linked down below. See you next time!